Mountaineers just working the lower side of that mountain all the way through, constantly fighting their way in. Getting some strong knocks. Here comes a full send push out of Falcon. Savant with a mini out in hand. It would probably been better to use that UMP. Nades coming in quick. The crossfire. Savant definitely needs the help, but he gets isolated and taken down. Where was the crossfire? The support lines for 4 AM.
Where was this Falcons? That's what I want to know.
Oh, Notion Red Force also coming in now.
Yes, let's go. Let's just add another third party to the action. 4 angry men absolutely pinch it. They've got 2 now having to deal with Nongshim Red's force. They've got Savant out for the count. That means only 1 angry man can really focus on Falcons on the back line, but Falcons still pressuring on. They are looking, they are applying that pressure, and they're not going to stop anytime soon. 4 angry men, welcome to the sandwich.
Yeah, oh man. Surprised they still have 3 up. Oh, just as I say that, they're up to 2. Falcon looking like they're going to sweep it. They're going to sweep that western side of 4 AM. Yeah, 4 AM, the last 2 players now completely isolated from one another. Good Shot's going to evacuate the premises, at least pick up some level 3 gear. I don't know if he's going to try and hold that northern side. And here comes the rest of Notion. Oh, wow. So aggressive. Just pushing in. Yeah, they got him completely surrounded, and that is another 4 AM player down. 4 AM just down to 1. Falcons still up. And all the meanwhile, rejects are just sitting quiet and pretty, seeing all this chaos play out.
You just said words that don't make sense to me. You just said that Falcons and Nongshim Red Force work together to take out 4 angry men. Yeah, no, I don't understand that one just quite yet. If I wasn't seeing it, I wouldn't be believing it. But here we are, another team. We are up to 4 now as Rejects move on in for a little bit of action, picking up potentially a little bit more eliminations. Nongshim Red Force still holding the line, though, against Falcons, prepping those nades, looking for those opportunities. Falcons have been on an absolute tear, and I still ask the question, where was this version of Falcons earlier?
It's a little bit too late. Same for Nongshim Red Force. Red Force. They are getting some nice fights in, though. Not gonna lie, this is an exchange back and forth. All the meanwhile, rejects just firing off whatever third-party shots they could get. Definitely putting in some damage. Next zone comes out. Furious Gaming, the 3-man team, is going to be forced to push into the rejects team now. Rejects, this should be just more points for them to be gained.
We're talking about that storyline. Rejects building that buffer zone, trying to climb further and further up. Train to kill, reduced to 1. They do have that 1 elimination in the meantime. Nongshim, though, they don't have a lot of time left. Those nades are just finding their victims. Falcons moving on in. They still have plenty of utility to work with, but now here's the push. Here's that final nail in the potential coffin of Nongshim Red Force. Your feet, they're going to be shown. We can see you. We can find you. As Falcons move on forward, closing up this eastern line. They will give themselves the spacing as the only team to close it up. But RQX moving on in with the DBS. They do find 1. It's down to a 1v1 scenario. Never alone once again. As the last member standing here for Falcons, going to be wrapping around. A little bit of time given for that med up. The DBS, come on in. Let's get that one shot. It's going to come down to that final connection. Just around the corner they go, waiting for that information. This is going to be a stalemate around the... What are we doing?
Ring around the rosy. Yeah, I mean, that DBS is scary close range in a 1v1. I don't blame Never Alone. He's going to try and force Notion Red Force to come into him, and they do win out with the DBS. Furious Gaming, though. 3v4, pushing RC, and they're getting the upper hand here. RC will manage to get the revive. Rejects back up to 2. Furious Gaming still with 3. Furious Gaming not losing a single member. Rejects will get 1, though. Now it brings it back to 2v2. Ray J is also able to secure the point. Fernan running into the crossfire goes down. Now it's a 1v2. A trade happens through. It is Divine and Alien Kid. 1v1 situation. Alien Kid will also get the confirmation. He's got the first aid. He's going to pop it. Doesn't able to get it. Get some nice damage, and that's going to be crucial for this 1v1. Brings the HP down to even numbers. Back and forth we go. Also, third-party shots from distance. Both teams have to watch out for that. He tries to get the first aid. Alien Kid denies it. And that is the rejects out with barely any points in eliminations, I think. I don't think they got... They maybe got a 1 or 2. Yeah, 2 eliminations. A 6th place finish. They'll close the gap just a little bit. with 4 a.m., but it's not as much as they could have hoped for, especially with 4 a.m. getting taken out way earlier. And the fact that Rejects had 4, I don't know how Furious Gaming swept that out from under them.
Again, it's these teams from the bottom that are just looking to steal away points. Our analyst mentioned it. Nongshim Red Force will be going down early on. They're still 28 points away from the other teams that are desperately looking for them. And now they will do a little bit more. But Furious Gaming picking up points. Falcons,
Train
what
to
is
Kill?
happening?
Train to Kill is still alive.
Still alive, and they've been left to their own devices. No one has been looking at Jane. No one even knows Jane is in this actual location. So if Train to Kill, if Jane could just keep quiet, there's already a third place finish up, maybe a second. It's only victorious from FaZe.
Yeah, Train to Kill might be able to. They might be able to pass up Rejects here. HC, by the way, they're a bit of eliminations. That does mean on the very last game, it is doable for them as well to make it into the top 3. And this has been the entire time getting so many eliminations. And Jane is definitely on the back foot. This is going to be a tough task for Jane to win. The quick peeks out of Icy, back and forth. Oh, good connections back from Jane. This is a dance-off, one-on-one, but Venturas from the off angle, from the distance, will knock Icy. This makes it into a 3-way 1v1. Venturas might actually be in the biggest advantage all the way downhill. Jane has to be worried about pushing up. And just as I say that, yeah, Venturas could come in and sweep below. And Zio is going to come out over the top and pick up Jane. Get the revive. That's Train to Kill out in 3rd place. IHC looking to get the 1st place finish. Can he get the revive in time though? I don't think he can. Venturas very aggressive with the MG3, but the peaks are good out of IHC. They've done almost, I don't want to say almost nothing the entire day. Definitely not the performance we're used to seeing out of IHC, but on the second to last game, they get the chicken dinner.